Hi, I'm Lisa,
And I'm Lauren.
and this is Flock Call Friday.
And today we're going to talk about some things we like to have in our first aid kit on hand. You never know when something's going to happen.
Right, so this is what we would have in our first aid kit if you're just starting out or you have chickens now. Just good to review things that you might need, you may not need, but good to have. So we have it broken down by wound care. We're going to talk about just some sort of medicinal items and then some just sort of extras to have on hand. So take it away, Lauren. Okay.
So let's see. Vetericyn.
We love Vetericyn.
Excellent product. There is the wound and skin care, and there is also a poultry care. They're basically the same thing.
Pretty much.
I use this all the time for Pearl, who cuts her comb constantly.
All the time.
Penny forever is breaking feathers on her feet. So it just helps heal it up faster. Ophthalmic gel.
Specifically for the eyes, which is another really great thing to have on hand for irritation or cuts or just specific for the eyes, so you don't have to worry about it not, doing its job.
Yeah. Blood stop powder.
If you're trimming a nail or,
Or a feather on a foot.
Right, or it's too cut to the quick. It
stops. Yeah, it stops it. Stops the bleeding. If you don't have something like this, something you can use out of your kitchen is like cornstarch or flour. That helps too, but it's best to have something like this.
Yes, it is.
Q-tips. They're great for everything. What
She uses them all the time with her.
I do. I use them for my Polish all the time.
She's neurotic. No, I'm kidding.
I have issues with cleaning my birds, so I clean out their nostrils. Or the Polish have folds over their eyes, and their hair, their feathers hold a lot of dirt. So I clean above their eyelids.
Laura's a good mama hen.
Neosporin without pain
Really.
Pain relief. Don't use the pain relief.
Manuka honey, really good for cuts.
And the grow gel.
And I also use Manuka honey if I'm giving them tea, if somebody's a little raspy, or it's just a nice healing honey. Okay. All right. So then you talked about the...
Did we talk about blue coat yet?
No, we didn't talk about blue coat.
All right, blue coat. Messy,
but good for, fungus and broken feathers, and just another good product to have on hand.
Coats, if, they see blood, they're going to pick at it, so it helps with coating that also.
Yeah.
Helps. Good. Permethrin, dust for
mice, lice, and the permethrin, this is a concentrate, so you mix it with water and you use it as a spray, so a powder or a spray, but we'll get into that at the point in more detail.
Yes, absolutely. Calcium tablets.
So I always keep calcium on hand in case one of my girls becomes egg bound. Just quickly, you put her in warm water. You use the calcium as a syringe. Get her, get a lot of calcium in her to help pass the egg. But we won't get into that. It's just nice to have them on hand. And then we have the B12 the B complex injectable. I give the injectable to my birds, 0.5 cc for a standard fowl, 0.3 for a bantam. If they're lethargic or they don't go out a lot and you're just seeing that they're not perky, their combs are pale, sometimes just a B12 injection will do the job. And if you don't want to give injections, it really does. 2 products I love. Rooster Booster, Poultry Cell, and B12. Have you given this in oatmeal or anything of that sort?
No.
You can hide it. You can hide it in we give them in syringe, but it can be put in oatmeal or honey and orally.
Yeah.
And we have just a emergency penicillin. I only use penicillin on my breeding cocks or cockerels. We don't use them for meat, so in an emergency, respiratory, you don't want to spread through the flock, I will separate and only, again, treat the cockerels and cocks.
If you do treat a hen with penicillin, you there's a withdrawal period on the egg, so make sure that you research that.
And then after both treatments, always you want to give a good, you want to get their gut flora back. So raw milk is fabulous, buttermilk, skim milk, yogurt.
Important. She's
Important
absolutely
stuff.
right. Dewormer. Ugh.
Yeah, dewormer.
Gotta do
So
it.
this is an all-natural product from Hake's Twin City Poultry Supply. If you go to his website, it's Hake's Twin City Poultry. It has a list of ingredients, all natural, 1 drop for bantams, 2 drops for standard fowl. Gets rid of every species of worm. Very cool.
Because we don't want worms.
They don't want worms.
Vetrx. This is one of my absolute favorite products besides Vetericyn. I Vetrx
Crazy
everything. I think it's fantastic. I use it on their legs for scaly leg mites.
Great.
I use it on their combs and wattles a lot just because it looks pretty. But
And it smells great.
And
It's
it does.
eucalyptus, and they love sort of breathing it in, especially with
They
the
do,
breed.
they kind
Lauren has the Polish with the bigger nostrils, and
they love it.
she's an expert at keeping their nostrils clean.
So I use it a lot in the winter months, colder months, damp months, things like that. I'll put it under their wings, and it kind of warms up at night, and the whole coop smells like this.
All right. Right.
So this is something I love a lot. Rooster Booster. Did you talk about that?
No.
The vitamins and electrolytes.
This is just an electrolyte. I prefer to make my own electrolyte with the brown sugar or raw sugar, a pinch of salt, and apple cider vinegar. But you can also, this is also good to put in water if you know you've been using penicillin, or you have the birds have diarrhea, or it's just a good.
It's good
additive.
in the summer too. In the heat,
Right,
the
true.
electrolytes are good in the summer, so I use that a lot. Bragg's apple cider vinegar.
Daily, and I'm sure everybody knows that it's great for water, great for digestion.
And it's
I
good
buy it
for
by the
you
case.
too.
And it's good for you too. We swig it.
So,
What else?
what else?
So we have a trim kit just for nails. If you have a broken feather or nails are getting too long, it's nice to be able to trim them up. Or you can file them down. A pair of tweezers, you never know when you need them. And Waxoline. I'm sure we all use Waxoline. What do you use it for?
I use it in the colder months for frostbite to prevent it.
It's nice on their combs. It's moisturizing on their shanks.
It is. It is.
But
so
it
if
can
they're
be
looking a little
messy.
dry, yeah, it can be messy. So I tend to use like Vetericyn more in the summer when they're really digging and stuff, because I don't know, that kind of holds dirt, but it really helps with frostbite.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I use that a lot too.
Good.
And it's good to prevent mites on the legs and the scales.
Yes, and if you do have scaly leg mite, which again is another subject, the Vetericyn topped with the Waxoline will smother the mites, and you just keep
Right,
repeating it,
yeah.
and you can actually at some point peel the scales off. But again, we're getting ahead of
It happens.
it. What else? Coconut oil.
Oh yeah? Coconut oil.
So Lauren's bird ate an earring.
Yes, I have my ear pierced up here, and she sat on my shoulder and pulled it out, and I called Lisa and said, "Oh my God, she ate my ear! What am I gonna do?" So I gave her a little ball of coconut oil just to help her try to pass it and digest it, and I'm assuming that she did because she's still alive.
Still alive. Thank goodness.
I think she passed.
So just a good product to have on hand, and once in a while I'll put some, sunflower seeds and give them a little ball of coconut oil with sunflower seeds. And
Yeah,
it's a nice treat.
It's supposed to be good for their feather sheen too, right?
Yes, it is. It is.
So that's
And speaking of feather sheen, nice segue. This is just something, if you have show birds, or if you're particular about your bird's feathers, white birds or black birds, it'll keep their sheen. It's just a mineral oil. You spray it on, and it's nice. Just keep them nice and pretty. And we have a whitening shampoo and a darkening shampoo, or for dark feathers, but it actually does have a little darkening in it. And the white shampoo, if your birds, if they're on a roost or they get pooped on, or you like your birds
Or
extra
they're like
special clean.
Pearl, who's
A
always
pig pen.
yes.
So is our mom, by the way. So it's nice. If you're going to use a shampoo, a bird shampoo is recommended. Again, this is Hake's Twin City Poultry Supply. And I think that's about it.
I think so.
So yeah.
And a lot of this lasts a long time. So, you know, you can't just go purchase all of this at one time. But, you know, when you're at Tractor Supply, or you should really pick some up. So,
And it doesn't go bad. So you have it. Once you buy it, you have it for years.
Yeah.
As long as it's stored properly.
exactly. This little goes a long way, little goes a long way. So, it's just kind of a collection you grow.
And you have to have. It's a good thing to have if you have flocks. So, thank you for joining us. Flock Call Friday. Lisa from Cedar Crest Farm.
Lauren, Extraordinary Hens.
And we'll see you next week.